get that cooking. All right, so we're live. Okay, so the good brother just giving game is getting everything. Okay, they're good. Yeah, I see some people in the chat. How y'all doing out there? Very excited. It's gonna be a wonderful night. Got a good brother here that's gonna be talking. I always love. There he is. All right, yeah, you can go ahead, brother. You can go ahead and go request to join. But it's always good to see. You know, did you put you put the request in?
Nah, not yet. Hold on one
Okay.
second. My son
All right.
literally just started crying, bro. As soon as I sat down,
Okay.
I thought I had it squared away.
He's done with the little
You
ones
say
right
you
now.
wanted
So
to
hey,
watch Bad Guys.
yeah,
What's
y'all
the
know how that
problem?
is. But yeah,
Let me know something
it's
right quick.
always great for me
You
to
going
see
upstairs?
this younger generation coming up that is taking health so serious. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it took me, it took me a minute to really figure out what health, really is. You know what I'm saying? I'm
You
not
want to
talking
lay
about
down right here? Or you
I'm
going
not
upstairs?
just talking about the
You going
normal
upstairs?
food that our parents be giving us, but
Right
real
here?
health.
Okay.
The fact that fruit and vegetables are, is really the only food. And not only that, um, when if any of y'all saw my
You
previous
heard looking rough like that.
podcast I had with the brother Aris Latham, he was breaking it down to how, like, when you juice, and I'm sure the good brother here gonna talk about when you juice, it's like your digestive system doesn't even come on; it just absorbs it, and, like, that's way to save a lot of energy. You know what I'm saying? And I never fully, I always, I knew that there was a, I knew that there was a better way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that brother right there, man. If y'all get a chance, go to go back and watch that video, because if you down, if you want to learn about health, then yeah, that's a very good look, I think we have a special guest with the good brother just giving game.
You okay?
We got a
He was
special
crying.
guest.
He wanted to join family. He
Look,
said I need to
his
be
little man is
present.
joining him. So yeah, but tonight's gonna be great. I said, while he gets ready, I'm gonna go ahead and oh, there he is. He's coming on in. All right, he should be here any second.
You fall. Daddy got you.
All right, let's see. The good brother should be coming in any moment. But there we go. Peace, everybody. Peace, everybody's coming in.
Abundance, abundance, family.
Indeed, indeed. Oh yeah, turn your phone down on your end so we don't get that crazy echo. You don't gotta mute it, turn all the way down, just turn it down as low as it'll go. Yeah. Yeah.
We good.
Peace, peace, peace. People coming in the chat. Nice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
We
we
good
just
on
getting
your end.
everything straight. You know what I'm saying? We had as you can see, we had a whole crew on the other
Hold on,
side.
hold on. Daddy, sorry.
Believe me, it won't be the first time, brother. We don't have little ones co-guessing many a times on the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Every small people, the gods and little gods and goddesses are definitely welcome. But now, since we got everybody here, let me go ahead and start to introduce myself and what we got doing here at the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. We are here to uplift humanity. In addition, we are here to definitely assist in aiding the awakening of the woolly head melanated zombies that have been asleep, for quite some time. And very happy to see that we are starting to wake up. Seems like more rapidly now than than I honestly imagined. But that's a beautiful thing as well. If you have not already, please go to polka.rabbitpodcast.com and pick
Where
up
you
my
going?
book,
Let me sit back.
Bicultural Living and Leaving in the World Illusion. I'm also in the mix of updating
Daddy
it, because
got you.
I've
You're
got
not
a whole
gonna
bunch of
fall.
the different things I got going on about, like, how I build websites and doing consultations, spiritual consultations, all that good stuff. That's all going to be on the website very soon. So keep an eye out for that. That's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and let the good brother introduce himself. You know what I'm saying? What he's got going on. And go ahead, brother. You got it.
Abundance, family. First, I just want to say gratitude for the opportunity. I actually did a Zoom not too long ago, and I shared what we had going on.
Mhm.
tonight. And one thing that they mentioned, and I say from a man's perspective, is something that we do appreciate, and it's something small, but just gratitude, appreciation, then just somebody kind of letting you know that you're doing something well and that they see you. So I wanted to say to you, bro, before we get started, gratitude for that and the opportunity. And honestly, family, I just want to share some of my light, just continue to be an example and chop it up with bro, and hopefully I can drop some gems, some reminders, and some things that y'all can take with y'all to implement into your daily routine, or excuse me, your rotation. Let me say it like that. I say rotation instead of day. Just working on changing my what's the word I want to use? Changing the terms I use, because words are spells. So I want to say things, or I'm working on saying things with higher vibrations. So I ain't gonna say too much.
No, it's
Um,
all good. The floor is yours, man.
my son, he don't know if he coming or going, but
That's cool.
we ain't gonna let that stop us.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's what they do.
started
Like I
too
said, man,
fresh.
it's a family affair, bro. This a family affair.
I say,
It's all
where you
good.
going? Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? If it ain't you, it's me. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same thing, so we good.
I say. So I
Yeah, yeah.
started two
So
fresh juices. Go ahead, bro. I apologize.
no, no, you good, you good, you good. Just so yeah, let me start. Like I'm gonna start from the jump, man. Because I remember when we were talking, initially we were just talking about the past and etc. So you were talking about like growing up in like you said, the hood or the projects, whatever the case may be. Yeah. So what? Yeah. Talk up. Let's start there. Like just the early ages, what you went through, what you experienced here. How was that?
Um, I would say it was blissful overall. I feel like the
Mhm.
journey started for me when I first got here, which is
Mhm.
for all of us. We don't typically remember because of the process most of us go through when we born in the hospital. I say
Mhm.
it like that. Just do
Yeah.
your research, family. And personally, like I said, though, it was blissful because growing up, I didn't have to worry about too many things.
Mhm.
Everything was pretty much taken care of me. My parents were together. When
Mhm.
I was younger, everything pretty much was going according to plan. Uh, as far as like some of the things I got to do, I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do in a sense, but I
Mhm.
did a lot. Growing up in the inner city, we kind of made the best out of everything. I
Right.
grew up in a project, so it was a big community in a sense. So us as youngins, we kind of had the freedom to roam. We was able to travel the neighborhood, travel to kind of different sides when you got to about a certain age. For me, it was about, I'd say like 8 or 9, where we kind of started riding bikes all throughout the city.
Mhm.
Um, as far as, I'm gonna just take it to more of a health standpoint. As far as eating, I would just say my parents did the best they could
Yeah.
with the information that they had. I'm not gonna say that we didn't necessarily eat healthy, because I feel like most melanated families growing up in the inner city, they try to put whatever their choice of meat is in most cases, then they put their starches and then they throw in a little
Mhm.
vegetables. So that was typically most meals, and outside of the spaghetti and the pasta, things of that
Mhm.
nature. But I pretty much ate the typical things that most of us ate growing up.
Mhm.
I would say I didn't really feel like it affected me until I got older. And I'm gonna say why, because as we're star seeds or children, we have so much energy that we kind of ignore it. And I feel like it don't really catch up to us until we
Mhm.
get older, by way of having a fast metabolism.
Mhm.
So personally, like I said, I don't feel like it really began to take a toll on me till I got a little older.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's a good point because regardless if our culture, is, positive right now, as opposed to back then, what I'm saying? We do so many similar things as melanated people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because even though our culture might be the most beneficial now than it was in the past, we still do things, collectively. You know what I mean? Like everything you
I
just
say.
explained, that's what I experienced and that's what I'm sitting there shaking my head. I was like, yeah, man, that's that's where I lived it. So, but you said the city. So where are you located at? Where when you
So
growing up? Where are you located?
when I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
Delaware is considered the first state.
Mm-hmm.
It is surrounded by Pennsylvania, where that's where Philly located.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey, closest near I say familiar area would be Camden. I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of people familiar with Camden, and then
Yeah.
Maryland. We closest to, I would say, big city Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on,
I've been through going
come
up
on.
top. Always you always got to go through Delaware. So yeah, and also they said that Delaware is like one of the most like most of a lot of rich people live in
It's
Delaware.
tax free.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that's what
tax
they
free, and
say.
yeah, the corporations, a lot of corporations go there and set up shop there because of that, right?
That's facts.
Yeah. So like I've only driven through there. Like what is it? Are How are the people in Delaware? Like you can say that how people in Philly a certain way, New York.
Hmm.
How was that? How are the folks in Delaware?
I would say I feel like because it's so small,
Hmm.
it's uh I don't want to take any credit from anybody, but I feel like it's a small variety of people.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that, I feel like, come on. What I mean by that is I feel like that most people, for example, it's only a few things.
Hmm.
Like you have that group where, just like for example, I'm gonna give the terms of, you got the 1%, the 5%ers, then the
Hmm.
85% and the ten
Yeah.
percent. It's kind of like that same aspect. You got a few different
Hmm.
categories where you got, come here. You have a few people that are tapping into themselves, figuring out what it is they truly here for. Then you have that group of people that kind of like to go along to get along. Then you got the people that kind of are stuck in their ways, and then you have the people that are pretty much, I would say, lost, trying to figure things out,
Yeah.
or kind of just going with the day-to-day flow. But typically I feel like it's really true, bro, because our people are really almost somewhat the same in all aspects. So I feel like it's typically anywhere you go, you got good vibing people overall. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sum it
Yeah.
up with
Yeah.
this: you got good vibing people. You feel me? High vibing, low vibing people everywhere you go.
Everywhere
You
you
just
go. Yeah.
gotta continue to, I would say, shine your light, do the work on yourself, so you can
Hmm.
tap in with the people that you actually meant to connect with. Come
Yeah.
here. You gonna keep whining, or you gonna come here? What you want? Come here. Here.
Yeah. That's Well, let me ask you this. Like, just dealing with like the mindset as a kid. When was it that you really think that you really were like, yo, there's something more about life? You know what I mean? Was it like a time frame in your, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you think of the
Hmm.
time frame in your life when it was you were like, yo, it's got to be something more.
So to be completely honest, it was when I think I was 18 or 19. It
Mm-hmm.
was 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would say the summer of 2017 is when I really started, like, not necessarily, I would say this year. Let me answer the question in two parts. So this year is when I really started taking it serious. But
Mm-hmm.
when I kind of became aware, I would say it was like 5 years ago, back in 2017.
Okay.
So let me take it back a little bit. Back in
Mm-hmm.
2017, I'm gonna be honest, I was just like a year out of high school. I had snapped my foot in half my senior year of high school. So
Oof.
things took a little turn as far as sports went, and me going to college and things of that nature. Long story short, I had started selling drugs during my senior year of high school. I finished school and everything like that, but I felt as though I needed to help my mom provide. So once I was selling drugs, I moved around a lot. So subconsciously, I would fast because
Mm.
I moved around so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I oftentimes didn't want to take the time to eat, or I would eat kind of late sometimes. So I'm not going to say that in a sense. I know none of us in a sense are perfect. Let me say it like that. But like I said, I was subconsciously aware. So it was times where I would drink water. It was times where I wouldn't eat nothing at all. Wouldn't even really
Mm-hmm.
consume anything to drink. And then it was times where I would eat a little bit and go throughout the day and not eat nothing, and then again I would eat late at night. So for example, that's one of the like challenges that I will have, either eating, I ain't mentioned this, but either eating super early in the rising or super late.
Mm.
That was like the biggest challenge. Of course, in a sense, like they say we supposed to eat our heaviest meal throughout the rotation, so around midday. I feel like most people get hungry midday, so I'm not gonna sit here and say every single day. For example, that summer of
Yeah.
2017, I fasted, but
Hmm.
I would say for a big part, let's say like 50-50, it was like a 50% of that summer I fasted. Like I
Okay.
said, subconsciously. And that was around the time to speed it up a little bit. That was around the time when I really started tapping in. But to go back a little
Hmm.
further, when I was in high school, I just started remembering because I play sports, so a lot of the food and stuff like that they gave us in school was kind of, they would give us like the same thing over and over. So it was like a select few things we ate, but then ultimately, for example, during breakfast, you feel me, I would eat a lot of fruit because I would think back
Hmm.
to when I was younger, growing up, we would eat a lot of fruit, not just in the rising,
Hmm.
but when it was hot and just in general to keep us
Hmm.
energized. So that was one thing that we did a lot in high school. Every rising, we had our little whatever the stuff they had gave us for breakfast, but we made sure that we had our fruit. For example, oranges, things of that nature. That was the main fruit that they used to give us. I think was oranges. The funny part is, check this out. It wasn't too long ago where we didn't even have to really question that, where the oranges had seeds.
Yeah.
For example,
I
I
know.
haven't I'm not sure if y'all go on my Instagram, I put a video up, family, where one of the guys was in front of me at the store and I asked him, I'm like, yo, bro, do them oranges have seeds in them? And he ended up asking the cashier. And long story short, I just reminded him because every time or most of the time when I go to the grocery store, I ask the not just the cashier, but I ask the employees that work at the store. And oftentimes I go to the farmer's market, but I ask the employees, and even at the farmer's market, a lot of the oranges, for example, don't have fruits. But I mean, excuse me, not fruits, don't have seeded oranges.
See.
The
Hmm.
speed up though, like I said, in high school we would eat a lot of fruit. So that kind of started to wake me up, but it was still subconsciously because I wasn't
Hmm.
fully aware of what was going
Yeah.
on. I
Yeah.
just kind of remembered like I grew up eating fruit. I know that from experience, fruit gives me energy, fruit keeps me energized.
Yeah.
So I kind of like after I got out of school, I was more in control of the things I was eating. So, like I said, subconsciously, I was still staying away from things I felt like was processed that made me sluggish
Hmm.
and speed up to, let's say, over that time, I just started cutting things out of my diet. Speed up to 2022, I'll say this
Hmm.
year, give or take, what is it? We 11 months in. So yeah, around the beginning of the year, somewhere I started
Hmm.
really taking things serious. And reason being, and I'm gonna end with this, bro, is my children.
Hmm.
Not just my children, but myself as well. But that was like
Hmm.
the biggest thing with my children.
Yeah. When you say that, is it just because you wanted to get them healthy, or you just wanted to keep you healthy to be like? What do you mean by that when you say that your children?
So when I say my children, I feel like everything is information. So I
Hmm.
wanted to be more in control of the information they was taking in. If I'm
Mm, I
not
got you.
able to be around them 100% of the time, I want to instill and contribute to putting in information that's going to help them make positive decisions. That's going to keep them on a higher vibration
Got you.
and just put them in the best predicament from a physical standpoint. I want to make sure they're healthy.
Hmm. That makes perfect sense.
Real
Yeah.
quick, bro. Are we
Yeah. Go
live
ahead.
on or is it live on YouTube?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I can hold. Okay, go ahead. I'm about to, if possible, try to send a link out. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm gonna do it
No,
on
you good.
IG.
So okay. So interesting. So So okay. So you're going through this. You got hurt. What sport did you play?
I played. I got hurt playing football, but I played football, basketball, baseball, and then I ran track.
Okay. So you played. You played everything. So you how did you hurt your foot?
My senior year, we was playing a school that I feel like they in Delaware
Hmm.
classified according to like coaches and players as a dirty program.
Oh Lord.
And long story short, it's funny because it was the play I had an interception.
Hmm.
I end up before I went down, the initial contact was made by face mask.
Hmm.
So he had my face mask. I'm at this point, I'm just trying to fall because I see the pile coming, and I caught the interception on the line, like on the line of scrimmage. So that's where all the big guys at.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
like my senior year, I was about 205, but I ain't. I was playing D1, so them linemen, them linemen be big. Long story
Yeah,
short,
yeah,
once
yeah.
he grabbed my mask, I tried to go down and end up turning into a pile up. And one of their players, he literally snapped my foot at the bottom of the pile. Like I felt
Oh,
him grab
damn.
my foot, and I felt him like snap that joint.
Twisted. Damn.
Yeah,
I know that's real too, man. That's how it is in sports, especially when you be playing, some of them rival schools and them crazy meatheads, and especially when they racist, man, because they be
them low
doing crazy
vibrational
stuff.
pale skins.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when I already know, man. We used to, whew. But oh, you went off the IG live.
Yeah, I'm about to. I was trying to get the link
Oh, okay.
for the what's the name? I'm listening to you, bro. Go
No,
ahead.
no, you good, you good. I didn't know if you knew that. All right, so was that aspect there when you hit when you broke your foot, and was that something that kind of got you to sit back and kind of think about, what was the catalyst for you to this, to this new type of thinking? What was the catalyst for it?
To be completely honest, once I fell back from religion,
Mm-hmm.
I started taking matters into my hands on all aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that was about like 20 around the same time. So not 2017, but I'd say like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And what basically happened was I started once I
You
got
got to
into
re
the
you got to
streets.
rejoin on IG.
Okay, my bad,
Yeah.
bro.
No, you good.
I started
So while he fixed that, the question I asked him when he sort of started making a transition, he was just saying he's about to come back on, but he was just saying when he fell back from religion, and it's so interesting because if I had a dollar for every time I've heard people, say once they made that transition is when they let go, you know, of religion, and I ain't just talking about Christianity. I'm talking about all religion, any and every religion. When people really start to focus with self, start getting on that journey, man. It's like I tell people all the time because I can never really personally, I could never really just say I could never really dog out any religion. This is the reason why I say this because me personally, I was going through, Catholicism. I went through Islam. Um, I went through Pentecostal holiest. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. You know, but they did lay a certain, at least moral foundation. For me, it's just that I always tell people like, religions like shoes. You know, and some people, they keep growing, so you got to change your shoes. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I was on a plane coming back to Atlanta a little while ago, and this Christian guy was sitting next to me, and we were just chopping it up, man. And he just started talking to me. He was actually talking my ear off. But the thing is, regardless of him, what his belief was, he was genuinely a good person. You could tell. You know what I mean? And we all know a lot of people in religion that that are good people. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but still, you get to that point in which when it comes to religion, if you're seeking, things start, you know what I'm saying? They don't make sense. So you just keep, digging deeper. Like me personally, I tell people all the time when I had first book, scroll or book I had by Dr. York, and it was called Our Bondage. And I opened that book up, you know what I'm saying? Because his this scrolls, his books are like this size, So I remember just looking through it, and the first thing I noticed is that all the people in it look like me. You know
what
what I'm
book you say it
saying? I was
was,
just
bro?
like, what you say? Oh,
What book was it?
it was Our Bondage.
Our
Now this was
bondage.
yeah, this was back in, this had to be 98 or something like that. But it's Our Bondage. So the two things that blew my mind, this is when I really started to hell with religion, in all honesty. Like you said, when I saw, number one, all those people in the book that look like me, Moses, Aaron, and all these people that look like me. And number two is I saw the Bible scripture, and underneath it, it had the original script, and it had a translation underneath that. And I'm saying to myself, you mean to tell me this whole time I'm sitting there reading this Bible, and this is, this much deeper, there's much more meaning of where this root came from. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that was my journey um out of religion. Was my when Dr. York, by reading them scrolls Dr. York put out, man. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That was like,
I sure. I sure.
yeah, I could never I could never like I'd never look at, but the deep thing is that I used to show this all to my all those books my mom, they're old they jumping, they ODing on the Jesus juice, but it's all good, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But 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 like
Yo.
I said, they still good people, you know what I'm saying? They're still
Mm-hmm.
good people,
Yeah,
you know what
go
I'm saying?
Hearts.
And exactly, they got good hearts. But once I got that information, I started researching all this stuff because Dr. York was always like, "Yo, don't believe me, go check it out." So I did exactly what he said. I was reading all this stuff. I was like, "You mean to tell me I've been taught this stuff the whole time, and is this is what I was looking for?" You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was I'm feeling you. That was my exit as well. So going forward, got out of religion. Can you kind of expand upon that?
All right, so so what you even expounded on that, let me just go back and
Yeah.
correct myself. So let me just say I fell back from Christianity because
Okay.
doing some research, I feel like the etymology of religion is just pretty much like your daily practice or your way of life. So I feel like we all working on obtaining or living a holistic life. So let me just correct that. I fell
Mhm.
back from Christianity, and I
Mhm.
a comment mentioned something about, for example, on IG, a comment real quick. I wanted to touch on that. A comment mentioned there's truth for everything. We with you, bro, and that's basically what we saying, and what I'm
That's
gonna
what we're
get at.
saying. Yep.
So pretty much, one of the people I just want to give a shout out to a few people that really helped me over along my journey. But like from like the most recent, I would say like back to 2018. Once I started falling back, really it was back in like 2016 was when I really stopped going to church. But I would go here and there. Long story short, in like 2018, 2017, my cousin transitioned. He got shot and so-called killed.
Sorry to hear that.
And when that happened, I was in Job Corps. I ended up getting kicked out of Job Corps like a week or two later. It's crazy. It's not crazy. Everything happened in divine timing, but they wouldn't let me leave for the funeral from Job Corps, and then they kicked me out like a week later. So how everything happened, I was just like, ain't I growing up? I always looked at ain't no such thing as coincidences, for
Yeah.
example. So with that happening, I started just asking questions, and as time went along, the questions started being answered. And one of the answers was, I'm gonna be honest, completely was the information.
Mhm.
I One of the people I can remember specifically, I had came across a Rashad Jamal video.
Yeah.
I want to definitely shout out, you feel me? Shout out Rashad Jamal.
Definitely.
And I want to send
Mhm.
him, you feel me, abundance, protection, and big energy and for everything that he's going through right now to
Yeah.
continue helping him face that in a sense and get
Yeah.
out of that. But I can say that's one person that really like kind of expanded my mind and just made me question more things.
Yeah. Definitely.
Another thing was the judgment. I had kind of judgment on myself, to be honest, because I feel like they didn't really give us the truth on it. Like you was basically saying, when you tapped in with Dr. Yerk, you felt like you pretty much got the actual breakdown in a sense of what they
Mhm.
was teaching us in the Bible. But long
Mhm.
story short, that's how it was for me. For example, when I first started tapping in with Rashad Jamal, I felt like
Mhm.
the information he was giving, he was sharing some of the stuff from the Bible, but he was giving it in a point to, or giving it in a perspective where a baby could understand it.
Yeah.
And I started just doing kind of my own research. I started looking into different videos. I started watching stuff. I had read a few books, to be completely honest. And oh, matter of fact, hold on. Network marketing. Before I met Rashad Jamal, it was network marketing that changed it for
Mhm.
me, bro.
Mhm.
Around that, before I met Rashad Jamal, I met him. I think. Matter of fact, I met Rashad Jamal in 2019. I started network marketing in like 2018.
Mhm.
Um, because I went through the banking program in 2018 too, and that was all around the same time. In network marketing, they was teaching like spiritual
Yeah.
principles.
Yeah.
So they were teaching like the seven spiritual laws of success, things of that
Laws of
nature.
attraction,
One
all
of
that
the
good
books
stuff.
that I can remember that I had read was the Four Agreements,
Mm. One of my favorites, bro. One of
and
my favorites.
I just started like I said, I just started tapping in more, and as
Mhm.
time went along, I started really like falling back from Christianity, from church. things like that. And then that's around the time when I tapped into Rashad Jamal. And then I started tapping into other people. For example, I just want to give a list of a few names. I tapped into Yaki.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely tap into Yaki. I tapped
Mm-hmm.
to Rye Hayes. Rye Hayes dropped a lot of gems. I tap
Yeah.
into Young
Uncle
Elder.
Rod.
I tapped
Shout out Uncle
into
Rod.
definitely big shout out to Rye. Free Larry Hoover. Free the
Yeah,
political prisoners.
that's it.
We restoring the matriarch family. But
That's it.
Rye Hayes, Yaki. I tapped into Black Magic Channel
Oh yeah.
363. He dropped a lot of
I love that. I
gems.
love that show, man. I love that show.
I heard of different teachers being mentioned. Bobby Hemmett,
Yep.
for example,
My man.
like you just mentioned, how can I ain't forget his name? It's coming back to me.
You
Dr.
know, Dr.
York.
York. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the work that they was doing. So
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, for me, I recently got back into reading, family. But I'm not gonna lie. You feel me? I take heed. And as let's bring this up, for example, and for everything is information, family. So I've been, you feel me, detoxing and cleansing my body over the last, for example, 5 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, you feel me, I got to a point to where I can begin to discern the information. And it wasn't
Yeah.
like I didn't know nothing. You get what I'm, well, I
Yeah.
feel like we all had a learning experience, but it wasn't like, you feel me, I was basically, in a sense, starting from scratch.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, with tapping into them, they actually kind of broke down some of the information that I already had, which I didn't
Mm-hmm.
quite fully understand from, for
Mm-hmm.
example, the perspective of the Bible.
Yeah. 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 And no, man, and it's very good. And I got to give shout outs. I talk about this all the time for like in the past, we always had these great master teachers, Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Malachi Z. York, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We had, Noble Drew Ali. I can go on, and those are going back from time. So we will always had a leader or a teachers, I should say, always keeping us to remember, who we are, what I'm saying? And in that aspect, but I got to give shout out to the individuals today, what I'm saying, that are doing it. Like
Nah,
everybody you
facts.
name, what I'm saying, all the 19 keys, all them brothers and the sisters
Nah,
out here
big shout out to
today.
19 Keys too.
Yeah,
Facts.
because it's important because they lay all the older cats lay the foundation, and now these people now, what I'm saying.
Red and blue
Oh,
pill too. Not to cut
yeah,
you
red and
off.
blue pill, all of everybody, because you see, here's the thing: those cats were sitting at the feet, just like I was. You know what I'm saying? Back
I
in
shook.
with Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I used to. Yeah, I mean, I helped build the land on Tamaray down there. I was. I seen a lot of the stuff
Bro,
that
that's
you see.
amazing.
Real talk. A
You was a
lot of
part
stuff
of
that
it.
you. Yeah, yeah. A lot of stuff that we see on YouTube, the all old and look grimy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us were there. You know what I'm saying? We experienced. We got to shake hands with Bobby Hemmett, Dr. York, all these individuals. But today we have another wonderful group of teachers that are taking the torch and run with it, man. To shout out to all y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Keep on doing what y'all doing,
Gratitude,
because we
gratitude.
need
Big shout
y'all.
outs.
Yeah, we need y'all now to, because this next generation is looking for answers, and we appreciate y'all for being there to answer their questions. So let me move forward. Um, so you're saying that you fell back religion, change your mindset. So what's the next step after that? Expect,
To be
yeah,
honest,
yeah,
the next
uh
step
huh,
was seeking the information, bro. Outside
okay,
of changing my mind step, I feel like it's a process. So I started, you feel me, becoming aware of the information. Then
mm-hmm,
you take in the information.
yeah,
Then you discern the information or you ponder on it. You figure out what works for you. And then you start to apply it.
mm-hmm,
So then it was the point to where started applying the information. I started, like I said, for example, I started cutting things out my diet. I started with
yeah,
that, to be completely honest.
mm-hmm,
I started finding replacements. So for example, one of the most challenging, but I feel like kind of the first things I cut out was meat. And let me say it like this. It was a major challenge to cut it out fully. And I just want to give credit to myself and I'm gonna stick to it
yeah,
because I recently did that like over the last few weeks, but I was doing it, weeks. I was doing it in moderation and I was only
yeah,
really
yeah,
eating salmon and like specific type of fish, and I was making sure that they was cooked most of the time,
yeah,
home cooked.
yeah,
So I was
yeah, yeah,
making it
yeah,
myself in a sense. Long story short, though, it was I started with the meat. I cut out pork first,
mm-hmm,
then I cut out beef,
mm-hmm,
and then I started slowing down with the chicken. Then I kind of went into seafood, and then like I said, I kind of pretty much cut everything out.
yeah,
I had a challenge with I would say the meat because when you actually begin to cleanse your body, I feel like that's what gets caught up the most. That's the
Yeah,
toughest. That's the hardest for our body to break
yeah,
down.
to get
So
let go. Yeah,
we still have that stored in us.
yeah.
So like I
Plus
said,
you
I still
and
go
you
ahead,
from
bro.
Delaware, man. So you got all that seafood around you too. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I love bro. I love
Me
seafood
too,
platters
man.
growing up.
I grew up in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? So you already know how to, man, shoot. But but that's still at the same time, I had to let it go as well. At a certain point, certain point. So I feel
That's
you on
true.
that. So pretty much you saying like you had to go from eating real chitlins to vegan chitlins, right?
I mean, pretty much, pretty much, bro. I ain't never had vegan chillings yet, and I'm not going. I'm gonna be honest though, cause we being transparent. When I was a young boy, though, I did eat chillings before, but
Me
that was
too.
because I didn't know, bro.
Yeah,
The hot sauce, throw a little hot sauce on them joints.
man.
You can't go
I,
wrong.
I got a chapter
In a
in my
sense, when
in
I was from that mindset, go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna have a chapter in my new book when I talk about how it actually the name of the chapter is pig brains and eggs because
Mm-hmm.
we used to our parents used to give us we used to call them brains and eggs. We used to go when we were in Virginia. We used to go down to the in Richmond in the hood. Only certain places sold the pig brains. Get them like you said, put some scramble them up with eggs and hey man,
Mm-hmm.
a delicacy.
It's funny that
Yeah.
you said that because one thing we used to eat a lot back to, for example, when I tell you I used to break my fast
Hmm.
instead of breakfast eating breakfast, I used to break my fast with, for example, breakfast sandwiches,
Yeah, yeah,
eggs,
yeah.
cheese, bread, and
You don't know the
scrapple.
difference. Yeah, it's scrapple. Yeah, I don't know
So
about
you feel me,
scrapple.
bro? I'm just being honest and
Yeah,
transparent. But
man.
I thought I was cool because they
Yeah, yeah,
taught
yeah,
us
yeah.
that breakfast
You
was
thought that
the
was
most
it.
important meal. They taught us that we needed to fill ourselves up so we can have energy. But then you feel me? Like I said, I one thing I did, bro, what really made me fall back within myself is I used to always have a lot of questions, bro. I'm an
Hmm.
inquisitive person. I
No,
ask a
that's
lot
right.
of questions. So I felt as though growing up in a church, it was nobody that could really answer my questions.
Hmm.
And I feel like to be honest, they didn't care enough about the children to
Hmm.
really give us the opportunity to ask questions. And then kind of like when we had like so-called children's church, they
Yeah,
already had the plan laid out.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So it was
yeah.
like you feel me? It was rarely a window
Programming.
for you to ask questions, or most of the time, because like you said, the program we will forget the
Hmm.
question.
Yeah. I used to have I had many a battles with Deacon Do Wrong and Pastor Pork Chop throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? I'd be up there, I'd be going after them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you on that. And all right, cool. So okay, so you got that. So it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying. Um, you pretty much start waking up, and then once you started getting your body right, you started bringing the information in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these different teachers were kind of like were is that correct?
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like at the to be honest, bro. I feel like that was kind of like at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was like because I felt like I couldn't do one without the other in a sense. I felt like I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of slowing my process up. So I kind of like did it was like a trial and error where I was kind of doing both at the same time. Where I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
tapping in, finding
Yeah. I
different
can see that.
teachers, and in the midst, you feel me, cutting things out of my diet. And like I said, at that point, I kind of started fasting consciously
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, okay, boom. If I can't get, for example, this, or I'm not making it, you get what I'm saying? I would just
Yeah.
be
I
like, all
got
right, I'm cool. I got to a point I had got so disciplined with it at that time where
you. Uh-huh.
I was fasting without, you feel me, like it was
Yeah.
nothing. So I could just tell myself like I'm cool. I'm gonna just go to sleep or I just drink some water. I'm not gonna eat in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it's real interesting because I just listening to what you're saying because like it's so interesting just hearing people having the similar stories of just being looking for self. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to going from external to internal and really starting to internalize things like you were just talking about the books you're reading like the Four Agreements and that book right there makes you really see that book right there specifically really makes you it lays a good moral foundation for you as a human being to be really a good person. You know what I mean? As far
Yeah,
as
that's facts.
being what is it? Being applicable with your word,
Mm-hmm.
um, not taking
Always
things
doing your best.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, always do your best. Yeah, yeah, all
And
these
what's the
different
last
things. You
one?
know what I'm saying?
Don't make
Don't
assumptions.
make assumptions. You know what I'm saying? just think about those four things, like you were saying, that people do all the time that just puts them in bad positions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts. Oh,
Yeah,
check this
man.
out real quick, not to cut your wisdom.
No,
So
you
right
good.
now, the book I'm reading is As a Man Thinketh.
Yeah,
And it's funny that you said that because pretty much that the piggyback off what you're saying, like we are the true cultivators of our mind.
yeah, exactly.
So pretty much anything that we put into it, whether consciously or subconsciously, is
Hmm.
is you feel me? We gonna reap the benefits of it,
Yeah,
consciously or subconsciously, family. And not just that,
yeah.
just from a energy and a mental standpoint of like your
Hmm.
thoughts
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. The more and more that we go inside, the more and more we see how less, um, I'm gonna say tangible, I guess. The more, this world they call it more that is more so an illusion than the
Mm,
reality we always told it's been. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because you know what I mean? Because the more and more we go forward to be it meditation, be it doing, mushrooms or ayahuasca, whatever the case may be, once you realize there's much more than this third dimension, that's when you really start to become alive. You know what I'm saying? Because
facts, facts,
you know
facts.
what I'm saying? Because it's like most people, when you're in the matrix, you think you just gotta go to college, get a job, get a nice 401k, retire, get your health insurance, die, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta wait. Religion tell you you gotta wait for the pie in the sky, right? But
Hmm.
it's like that's not the
They
case.
sky
You know what I'm
daddy.
saying? You know what I'm saying? You can have all that here. You know what I'm saying? And it really starts with letting go of the illusion in the world that they're trying to trap you in. You
I
know,
agree.
you know what I'm saying? So okay, so you went through all this, you got your your juicing straight, you got your body right, you got your mind right, you listen to these great teachers and stuff. So tell me about when the light switch, you know what I'm saying, came on. You were like, yo, and you're like, in addition to that, I'm gonna make it a two-part question.
Mm.
Did you did you ever get to the point, or have you got to the point to realize that you're back here again for a mission? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Was that ever a part of that as well?
yeah. So I would say, to be completely honest,
Hmm.
the first time I took shrooms,
Yeah, that'll do it.
were the first time I took shrooms, and to be honest, I'm gonna just share one part because I never really shared the experience I had on
Uh-huh.
my first trip. But I seen myself sitting on top of a pyramid,
Yeah,
but it wasn't no how the pyramid looked now. Like it was like when they was fresh with the gold
yeah,
on top. I seen myself sitting on top, just chilling. Don't ask
yeah,
how. I just was literally sitting on top of the pyramid, just looking around, like, damn,
yeah. Hmm.
this is something that we created. This is something
Yeah.
that we did and that I had a part of. So that was like a real monumental moment for me. And that was, to be completely honest, that was, I felt like I was already aware of myself, but I felt like I started really like, I had that moment on my first shroom trip. And say the second part of the question again, my fault, bro.
No, like did you see, did you start to remember again? You know what I
Oh
mean? Were you like,
yeah, so
yo, I'm here for this. I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? Was it
yeah,
ever?
so I feel like I took, so how, let me say it like this. That's two aspects. So I would say, as far as, because I feel like it was years ago when I felt like I found my purpose, because I started becoming more comfortable with myself talking. For
Hmm.
example, so I had started making content and videos like 4 or 5 years ago.
Hmm.
I always felt like I had a message,
Hmm.
but to get a little more specific, I felt as though it was around a time when I had started tapping in with the juices, because
Okay.
I had a juicer for like 2 years, to be completely
Hmm.
honest, and I didn't use it. I denied it. It sat under the sink. Many different reasons. I still was focused on content. Many different other aspects.
Yeah.
Chasing my tail, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then as I started tapping in more, pretty much cleansing myself, detoxing. I
Yeah.
can't remember the specific. It'll come to me, but the specific day or scenario when it came to me, like, oh, I'm supposed to be juicing, or that's one of the things, like a major part. You feel me? That I'm supposed to, major part
Yeah.
of my journey. So um, that's a question I can't answer 100%, bro. To be completely honest, at this moment, but I can say I can answer it like this: it was the juices. It was
Okay.
the juices and the shrooms.
Yeah, 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 and it's interesting because that's all. It's like your avatar might have been blocked before, but now you juice, you fasting, you know, and your avatar is getting cleansed. So you like, you able to receive the downloads now. You know what I'm saying? You receive this, so it makes perfect sense to what you're saying. Just like, when it comes to science and even metaphysically, you know what I'm saying? It makes perfect sense. In addition, like you said, what makes perfect sense is you being able to stuff when you took the shrooms and them and how they, I like to call them they. That's I always call them they. You know who they are,
Yeah.
when they they show you, what the deal is and what needs to be done and what's wrong, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You said one,
Nah, somebody asked
10.
me how much I did on my first trip. I
You
was
said 10?
saying one. Nah, one like a
Oh,
gram. I
one,
was doing
oh, I was like, God
1.0.
dang, 10. 10 on the first one?
No, I haven't. To be honest, I haven't took more than a gram yet.
Oh, okay.
I
All
wanted
right.
to actually cleanse my body, like in a sense, like I wanted to do a real cleanse before I did that.
Before you went all the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know who Baba Kalindi is?
I heard that name.
Yeah, you need to look him up, man. Rest in peace, Baba Kalindi.
I
He,
should.
um, he, um, him and the good brother Oye, you know, they, Oye introduced me to Baba Kalindi
Hmm.
first by the videos, and then when we were in Atlanta, we did an event, and Baba Kalindi spoke at this right before transitioned, like maybe a year later. But you know, the information he taught at that lecture, it changed my life. You know what I'm saying? And he's a good brother. Since you already started that, you're on that journey. Look up Baba Clindy. Look at his
I should.
videos and his lectures. Yeah, yeah. All y'all out there. While I got y'all all in here, please go ahead and if you haven't already, press that like button. Please share it as well.
Gratitude, family.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We trying to get this information out for the good people, and also follow me if you haven't. Pulver Dot Rabbit podcast and good brother as well if you haven't. Please do that while we got you in there. So, but yeah, so I was gonna say it's like, yeah, Baba Kalindi really over my eyes because the thing is, and I think that people really have to understand this, is that the mushrooms are um, not only Native American. I'm gonna call them Native American Nubians. That's all I'll say.
Hmm.
Native American Nubian. It's a part of our a way of life. You know what I'm saying? And also in Africa. And and all over the world when we encompass the whole world. It's not no bully bully crazy stuff that they want to try to make you. You already know when they try to
That's
tell
the
you stuff. You
thing,
already,
bro.
yeah, you already sure to know that something's right with it. They say something's wrong with it. But the science of our ancient secret societies that are our African brothers and sisters and the Native American Nubians here on this planet and throughout the Americas, we use all of these plants because they're technologies. You
They
know what I'm
all got a
saying?
piece. They just like not that real quick. Let me add it, bro.
Go ahead.
They all got a piece of the puzzle, just like we do.
Yeah.
They hold
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
information just like we
Mhm.
do, but they not giving up that false information, family.
Yeah, yeah, and the more and more you just go into depth about, even just the psychedelic culture dealing with the indigenous aspect of it, then more and more you'll see how um, there's a whole different size of something small. Perfect examples like when people look at hieroglyphic um, paintings, they just think that that's all. It's just hieroglyphics. It's just art. But
Hmm.
and Baba Clinton talks about this as well, but you take that 10, 15 dose, that thing comes alive. You know what I'm saying? And you're able to go inside the picture and the
Show
people
some
might
true
even come
fresh
out.
juice, family.
It's not a yeah, it's not a it's something, it's a technology that we use. You know what I'm saying? Same type of technology that we use,
Your
in
wife,
war.
it's like your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Same ticket. Chief Nighthawk was on it. He was saying that he had a headdress on that looked like a namuz. In ancient Egypt, we called it namuz, but in
Hmm.
our side, in the native side, it's called a feather headdress. He's saying he
Hmm.
was breaking it down. He said that's a technology because you know what I'm saying. The natural aspect of it all is all technological. You know what I mean? On our
Science,
end,
all
and
yeah.
yeah, yeah, the science, yeah, and it's organic. You know what I'm
I
saying?
should.
We don't need to make a CERN machine. We just need, good six sisters dressed in all white with some water
Hmm.
around them. We got our own CERN. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
facts.
So it's amazing. So all right, so I'm really interested in hearing about this juicing journey. I know you break. Okay, I'm gonna give you a long two-part question.
All right, go ahead,
All
bro.
right, a long two-part question. Tell me, how'd you got introduced to juicing, right?
Hmm.
How it affected you, you know what I'm saying? And also, what made you decide to start juicing for yourself?
Um, so for those that wasn't here earlier, outside of myself, my sons,
Hmm.
just taking their health into my own hands.
Hmm.
And another person, shout out, I am surviving vegan.
Oh
One
yeah,
thing
yeah,
she
yeah,
said
yeah.
that's imperative, family. She say the front is for entertainment and the back is for education. So she honestly challenged me because I would listen to a lot of her content and a lot of the
Hmm.
information she was putting out because I'm seeking. I'm trying to figure
Hmm.
out the information from whoever I can and discern it on my own time in a sense.
Hmm.
But long story short, when she started saying that, I started being more mindful when I was going into the store of the juices I was getting them. So, for example, I would get them things like juicy juice or stuff I felt like was the closest to most natural or healthiest thing that was, in a sense, affordable. And not saying like $1 but I'm saying like where I didn't have to, for example, spend a ridiculous amount of money just to get them something to drink for maybe a day or two, or you feel me, for a week. So, in a sense,
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm like, hold on. Half of the stuff I can't pronounce. And I'm like, I'm not even about to keep
Hmm.
sitting here looking at this ingredient and it got the whole alphabet in there and I'm typing in the whole alphabet on Google just to have to do all of this research. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, family. I was just saying like that was where I drew the line at. I'm like, hold up. I'm not about to keep doing this. And then even from that, with that being said, like you were just saying, if they tell you something is wrong, most of the time it's right, and then vice versa. But with that, in a sense, just
Hmm.
to kind of go back to that, I'm like, hold
Hmm.
on, they telling us this good, but I have other people, you feel me, that I'm listening to that look more like me and you, that
Hmm.
or you feel me, living in a sense lifestyle that's saying basically otherwise. So it's like now I'm at a crossroad. I'm like, who do I listen to?
Hmm.
And you feel me? You got your lower self talking to you, then you got your higher self talking to you. And my higher self, like, you need to tap into the people that's giving them real information out
Yeah.
versus, you feel me, the people that have been misleading y'all for generations.
Yeah.
So that was one thing, to be completely honest. And then after I started, you feel me, like cleansing myself, I'm like, it's time. This is what I
Hmm.
need to be doing. And
Yeah.
I had a meeting. Shout out to my big bro Nudie. He from Delaware. They doing major things. They have a gaming company where they offer like tournaments for gaming, getting the youngins into gaming and things like that. They help build a lot of brands and things like that as well. But Nudie, I look at him like a mentor. And one thing he told me, because if you familiar with me in my local area, not just with Support Sunday, before I really started the Support Sunday thing, I was always a big supporter. So I try to go around and support people in any aspect that I could, not just financially. Granted, that's in a sense I say that's the easiest way in most cases to support in some aspects. But I was supporting everybody and knew me and Nudie had a real serious build. And it was actually on the day that I was supporting him. I was doing some content for him. Long
Hmm.
story short, he like, bro, I appreciate everything you're doing and I'm proud of you. He like, but you've been doing this long enough. It's time for the tables to turn. He said,
Hmm.
you need to create a product to give people an opportunity to support you. You've been supporting way too much. So now you got to basically balance it out.
Hmm.
And that was the real confirmation for me to go ahead and really start Two Fresh Juices. And then what else was it? It was just me, you feel me, getting serious within myself. I'm like, I need
Hmm.
another aspect of a way that I can contribute to cleansing my body faster. So for example, I had some cookbooks. I had some videos and things like that, but I needed a faster method. I'm gonna just say it like that. I needed a quicker method, a quicker way to cleanse myself, a quicker way to recharge, to refuel. And I felt like personally from experience from trying some fresh juice. And when you think about it as simple as orange juice and apple juice, that was the first thing that I actually juiced. Once I did it for the first time, just getting out of that fear zone, actually doing it, starting where I was. I did it, and I'm like, all right, hold on, this ain't that bad. It might, you feel me? It might not taste exactly. It might not taste how, you feel me, how good they got it in the store, but I'm like,
In
I
the
can get
carton,
it
yeah.
to, you feel me, yeah, to that point, and not just comparing it to the store, but I can get it to my liking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I just need to figure it out. And then eventually I'm like, back to what I mentioned, trial and error. I started doing, you feel me? I started doing some trials. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just figure it out. I'm gonna just start simple with the oranges and apples. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make some orange juice, some apple juice. And I started letting my sons try it. And then I have a lot of younger siblings. My mom have 11 children. I got 6 younger siblings. At the time I had 5. Well, I still got 5 under 18, but I had 5 younger siblings. So I'm like, y'all could be my taste testers.
Hmm.
So at this point in time, I had my own. At this time, I had my own apartment and stuff. Well, not my own, but I had an apartment and things like that. So when they would come over, excuse me, when they would come over, family, I'd be like, okay, I need y'all to taste test, or I would call my mom and be like, I'm gonna bring some juice by for y'all. I need y'all to let me know. You feel me? If y'all like it, what y'all think I could do better. I had to not just. I'm gonna sum it up with this. I had to not just get started, take action, and do something for myself. I felt as though I'm that one. And what I mean by that is we all serve different purposes, but
Hmm.
I'm that one that's really, you feel me? That's really, as far as from the health standpoint specifically in that aspect. That's
Hmm.
really, you feel me, really making a jump
Hmm.
by being that example.
Yeah.
And it's younger people that look up to me. So just being that
Yeah.
example, having people that look up to me, that was like a major thing for me, because I'm like, I can't send them down the same path that I went down.
That's a good point because you know, and truth be told, you're the first. Of course, you know, I've know older individuals that really focus on health and juicing, but you know, you're the first person I've seen that, you know, around your age, you know, that's really focusing on juicing and showing, you know, how important juicing is. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, kudos to you as well. Because, you know,
Gratitude.
of course, you know, we got, like I said earlier, the brother Aris Latham, you know, one of the main
I
cats
tap
on
into
Raw
the
Food.
doc too.
Huh?
I said I be tapping into doc sometimes too. Definitely
Which,
big shout outs to him.
which one? Who?
Dr. Harris. That's what
Oh
you're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 Doc. Yeah. um, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you older like he been around a while, but younger people might not have, you know, really heard of him before.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in that position in which you're younger, people can look up to you and relate to you, say, yeah, wait a minute, you know, you don't got to be all, you know, older to juice. You can be juicing is cool. This brother right here is juicing. So that's a, you know, you're like a beacon, man, for real, man, like a beacon of light,
Gratitude.
a beacon of juice, like beacon of, a beacon of
Vegan of
juice, a
juice.
bucket of juice, a big bucket of juice of individuals that, you know, that need to see how important it is for us to juice and be healthy, man. Because you know, after that last the big scam, man, big scam we had, you know, the COVID scam.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if a lot of individuals were doing things by, you know, exercising, drinking fresh juices, taking the herbs, and you know what I'm saying, it would have been a, you know, a non-issue in a lot of cases. You know what I'm saying? Real
Mm-hmm.
talk. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Just taking care of yourself and juicing, man, is like one of the, from what I was told, and I just got schooled again in that last podcast I did with the brother Aris Latham. I got schooled again because you know, I learned from like Dr. Sabi, Tootie Mod
Mm-hmm.
Ra, Dr. Africa. You know, that was my main three right there. You know, but dang, I learned some stuff from just from, you know, what, 2 weeks ago. I was like, good
Mm-hmm.
gracious, man. I don't know if it was a refresher. Plus, it was learning something new. But how important juicing is for the body, man. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Check this out.
Hmm.
So somebody said to me, who was it? Matter of fact, I think he didn't say it to me directly, but you know how that go. We all, when
Hmm.
we communicate, and they speaking to
Yeah.
us in a sense directly. So I think it was Dr. B Serious. He was on Black Magic channel, and he said
Okay.
something real profound, and it made so much sense to kind of go into what you were saying. I'm gonna let you finish. He said the stomach is a natural juicer.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Go ahead though, bro. I'm gonna let you finish. I just wanted to throw
No,
that in
no,
there
no, no,
real
no. That
quick.
makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? That makes perfect sense. So, in saying all that, on I guess the second part was yeah. So you were like, yo, I got to get this juice to the people. What? How are the people able to get the juices from you? You know what I'm saying? And how what's the whole process? You know what I'm saying? What you got? Because I put all your information in the description, so y'all can y'all can contact the good brother. But how can people get these good juices? What type of juices you got? Because I'm already interested, man. I want I want to try
I
a
should. I
gallon
should.
of.
So honestly, family, to be completely transparent, working on a website so that can people from a security standpoint, so they can feel more safe and secure when ordering. What if you don't,
Mhm.
or if you're not comfortable with, for example, Cash App, Apple Pay, things of that nature, because we trying to remove this system. Family, do as much as we can to remove this system to put our people back
Mhm.
into not just power, but also a more holistic living, a whole holistic living aspect.
Mhm.
So that's one of the reasons why I try not to give the option for the cards and things like that. But I know it's a part of the construct, and we have to
Yeah.
do what we need to do so we can do what we gotta do. In a sense, I'm gonna just say it like that. Long story short, family, you can tap in with me directly. You can contact me via DM. You can contact me on, and you can repost, not repost, excuse me. You can shoot a comment. I check my comments. I try to interact with all of the family. You can hit me in the comments, shoot me a DM, shoot me a text. You might can't, here we go. 302, wrong side. 302-723-9843 family. Shoot me a text message. Let me know you interested in order some juices. I can shoot you a menu. The current flavors, I'm still narrowing it down what specific flavors I want to offer as far as when it goes to shipping,
Okay.
because things as far as the fruit that's in seasoning, sometimes we going into the winter now. So for example, key limes are out of season, so it's a challenge for me to find key limes in this
Yeah.
area. That's
Yeah.
just an
Yeah.
example. For example, family, you gotta remember, like, in certain areas, for example, on the East Coast or in Delaware, it's cold here, so it's certain fruits that can thrive here during a cold time. So for example, working on the flavors, but you can get in contact with me, like I said, by DM, shooting me a comment, or simply shooting me a text message and let me know that you're interested in ordering, and I'll do my best to get back with you right away, family. And we can go forward on the best way for you to order as far as the amount of juices you want, how soon you would like them, and things of that nature. But like I said, we working on the website. It ain't nothing for y'all to just reach out to me, family, and we gonna make it happen.
I think the things that we're seeing like in the media net today, what I'm saying, you know, I got you by some years, so just me being around, I've seen things. See, and I'm gonna talk about like how what's things and then we see in the media about Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, all these people, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the things that people that they're talking about now, and it's like, and this is the age of Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? This is the time in which all truth is coming out, you know what I'm saying? All the lies, all the mischievous stuff, all the crazy stuff that people are getting taken advantage of for years, it's coming out, it's being exposed, etc. Right? And we're seeing a revolution. If people, you might not see that now, but it's starting small, but you're honestly starting to see, people really bringing their truth to light, you know what I'm saying, with receipts, you know what I'm saying? But the reason I'm saying all of that is because there's also, because of good brothers like you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a health revolution. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a health revolution because the more and more that they try, the more and more we get to the point in which different viruses and stuff come out, we're going to have to be more and more, our body's going to be stronger. So we
Mm-hmm.
have no choice but to do things like to do the right ways with the juice and the herbs. So you know what I'm saying? So it's
Facts.
not only just information about, exposing the truth about, who we were in the past. It's also exposing, the truth about who we need to be as health people, and also going back to, in addition, how we need to utilize these ancient plant-based medicines to, get us tapping. It's an
Nah, that's
information.
facts, bro.
Yeah, it's an information. It's booming all over every aspect. You know what I'm saying? In all regards, and it's not going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just going to get more and more intense. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and the more and more that we elevate as people, you know what I'm saying? The more and more that we can leave this third dimension and start getting to who we really are. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
that's facts. I agree with
Hmm.
you. And just to
You know what
add
I'm
to
saying?
that, I agree and want to say that a lot of the things that we're dealing with is by way of, for example, our diets, because of the lack of
Hmm.
information or the amount of
Yeah.
disinformation and misinformation that we're consuming.
Yeah.
For example, a lot of the things that we're eating, I'm not going to say that they giving us because we allowing them to give it to us, but a lot of the things we consuming is false information, not
Yeah.
just by what we put in our mouth and putting into our bodies, what we're watching too.
Yeah.
People, for example, a lot of the older people, let me just use start there in a sense. A lot of the older people, for example, my dad, he still watched the
Hmm.
news a lot. When
Yeah.
I lived last time I lived with my dad, I think I was like 19, and he still watched the news, and it was the same
Hmm.
way when I was younger. But it was
Hmm.
like an everyday thing. And then you
Hmm.
got, for example, like you say, you got the I'm gonna say the Bible thumpers,
Yeah.
but you have a whole bunch of people in a sense that's stuck in their ways. But that's
Hmm.
by way of misinformation and a
Yeah.
poor diet.
Programming.
I feel
Hmm.
like if we once we start cleansing our bodies, we able to reconnect. Like you said, we able to tap back into them ancient medicinal herbs. We able to tap
Hmm.
back into the fruits. We able to tap back into the mushrooms, which
Hmm.
are the mycelium network. Like I said, let me
Hmm.
just touch on this real quick too, bro. Earlier I mentioned the shrooms, or they being like the Wi-Fi, or Wi-Fi being an
Hmm.
imitation of them, because when you think pretty much Wi-Fi is everywhere,
Hmm.
so are they. They just
Yep.
invisible
Everywhere.
in a
Yep.
sense. You can't see them. That's
Yep.
what a big part of what holds all of this together, family.
Yep.
But a lot of the information that we are intaking is false, and then a lot of the things we're intaking is not just that it's false information. It's putting us in predicaments. So when we seeing these things like that they're putting us through, or we're allowing them to put us through, it's not. We don't feel it as much as we should.
Yeah.
It's not affecting
Yeah.
us as much as we should. It's not hurting us as bad as it should.
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
because they didn't broke us down so bad to where
Hmm.
we kind of, at this point now, we allowing it. And we didn't basically transformed our bodies negatively. So now,
Yeah.
like bro said, with this being a health age, we have to not just share the truth as far as power and things like that. We have to tap
Hmm.
back into our power and remember, you feel me, who we
Hmm.
are, and realize everything is connected. And I say that to say, for example, as far as information, this fruit is not just this fruit juice, or this juice is not just information. It's simple. It's not as challenging as you think, family. So one, it saves you, for example, time. It saves you money in a sense, in an aspect when you look at the long term of it. And it's giving you information. So I like to say it's like a 3-step process. But
Hmm.
you gotta start where you are.
Hmm.
You can't be upset, or not say you can't be upset. Let me say it like this. Think about everything you've been through, family. If you hold on to that in a sense, you're gonna stay stuck where you are. Or things
Yeah.
in a sense gonna get worse. So you
Hmm.
gotta pretty much accept it. That's where it starts. You gotta become aware of it. You accept it in a sense, and then you take action and change it. I'ma just, you feel me, simplify it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No. And it kind of like to piggyback off what you're saying. It's like we're in a day and time in which we have to say, like we were saying earlier about being attached to this world. We got to say we don't want nothing from anybody except for self. You know what I'm saying? Obviously I'm not old enough to be around the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and but when the Nation of Islam came and all the the people that were around, I know, you know, they were like, yo, they just did everything themselves. You know what I'm saying? Everything themselves inside the community. They had, everything, the health, every aspect. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of the culture. Me being around at times when Tamaray was around and seeing all the things that I saw down in the land with Dr. York, and seeing those Savior's days when thousands of people were sitting in there. You know what I'm saying? Praying together, chanting together, buying books, spending hundreds of dollars on books. not, Jordans on books, you know what I'm saying? And all, you know what I'm saying? And all for self. And even I remember Billy Carson recently, he was just, oh, I think he was talking about Kanye. He was saying something like his advice to Kanye was something like, um, just get your own stuff. Get your own
Mm-hmm.
platforms. Don't go to anybody for anything else. Just do it yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that goes from something that's simple as what you're talking about right now, just taking control of your health, and then it permeates everywhere outside of that. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? You know what I'm
Facts. And
saying?
then, bro, I'm with you on that one. And to add
Hmm.
to what you saying, in a sense, that makes it so much simpler, family. Because with that happened, let me just give you an example. So after I came up with two fresh juices, one of the things that I like to do is try to usher in us getting back to our ancient ways and our roots, in a sense. So, for example, bartering and trading. I'll bring that up just to say. So I'm trying to help people understand how simple it is. Granted, some people ain't at that point, so I meet them where they are, or we meet in the middle. And I said that to say, for example, let's do a trade.
Hmm.
Let me show you how simple it is. But then when you get into the ingredients, family, I would love the support. I appreciate the support in advance. But I also want to say the point of me doing this is not for me to sell you anything. The point of me doing this is for me to be an example. So like bro just said, you can take matters into your own hands and see how easy it is, but also remember how good it feels. As far as then you think into the information, how can I do this myself? We just being examples. We sharing the information that we have obtained with you guys so you guys can do the same. But ultimately, it's about you, family. You have to do something. Figure out not only what's best for you, but you got to figure out what works for you. So, like I
Hmm.
said, I just want to be an example and show you that it's not as hard as you make it seem. Simply, let me
Yeah.
family, and I was saying that to say this has four simple ingredients. Of course, it's that because it's made with love. It's you feel me. It's a part of my alchemization process. But those four ingredients, family, it's a masterpiece. I'm gonna just say it like that. What I was, but
Hmm.
the point of me saying "but" in a sense though was to say it's simple. We make it so much more challenging than it is. So take the advice, family. Not just take the advice. Start somewhere. In a
Hmm.
sense, start where you are, family. Whether it's right now, whether you start with going in your kitchen and trashing a few things that you know that ain't good for you.
Hmm.
Whether you go in that refrigerator and you feel me, toss some stuff out. Whether
Hmm.
you tell yourself, nah, I'm not gonna eat that snack, or nah, I'm
Yeah.
not about to go pick up that fast food, or nah, you feel me, I'm gonna fall back tonight. It's late, I'm gonna fast, for example. Just start doing things. And another thing, family, real quick, ask questions.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask questions because in a sense we all trying to figure it out, family. And we all
Hmm.
sharing that light, but it's nothing wrong with receiving light from others. And
Hmm.
then discerning that and basically breaking it down to make it shit like cultivate it.
Hmm.
But that information is we don't own it. Let me say it like that. It's all here for all of us.
Hmm. Hmm.
And we gotta that's where you realize and you start tapping in more in a sense where you realize everything is connected. We all connected. I'm gonna stop
Yeah.
at that point. But like
Yeah.
I said, just
Definitely.
ask questions.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, and even that's what we're doing here, man. It's each one teach one. All these people, I hear that's sharing this information, this good, positive. It's that's a good thing about this whole internet age is that we're gonna have to once we're able to give out sincere, honest information, and a lot of times back with resources, you know what I'm saying, or sources, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
so people can get the information and better themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's what each one teach one, man. This was all about. You know what I'm saying? I was very excited to have you on here because
I should.
I knew that how important it is for health at this point, and having a young brother that's out here, really pushing it and really trying to explain, give the facts about how important it is to be healthy, and how, like you said, how simple it is, really. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm
It's
saying?
bro, it's super simple.
Yeah,
Nah, that's
yeah.
fact.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I had some other questions for you, but guess what? I'm gonna save them for our next number two. I just wanted to.
Oh,
I
let's
just
get
wanted to
it.
get the. I just wanted to get the
Appreciate it.
people to that haven't heard of you already. And like if y'all people that haven't already, please follow the good brother. Please follow the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast and go ahead and sharing like this. You know what I'm saying? And get this information out to your people because very important information. But yeah, I'm gonna. I think next time we build, I want you to get more to the science of it all. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got
Now
you.
the people, yeah. We go, this one definitely was very good on the importance of it. But now once you got the importance, and then after that, people really want to know, like, why,
Hmm. Some
why.
benefits,
Yeah, the
things
benefits, yeah,
like
all
that.
that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we
Nah,
gonna
for
do that
sure.
next time. I'm adding you to my genius list of my guests. So
I
you've
should.
made the cut.
I should. Gratitude, gratitude, man.
You
I'm
made the cut
extremely
about the
grateful.
genius crew.
I'm extremely grateful. And real quick before we get out of here, I'm not sure if
Uh-huh.
you ended it. Yeah, I just
No,
wanna
you
say
good.
this to the family. Not just moderation, family. I want to give a story. So, and it's funny because at a vegan restaurant, I ended up running into a goddess, and it's funny because she was like the first person that told me her mom does the same exact thing in a slightly different way.
Hmm.
So, long story short, me and my mom had a build the other day, so she's beginning her journey too. She's starting to take heed to the information, but it's by way of me being an example. Long
Hmm.
story short, though, we was having a build and we were talking about cleansing, and I gave her the analogy of something she used to say to me all the time. So when I was younger, my mom used to get in the tub and then she would let the water out, wash up, and turn the shower on.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand. I used to be like, "What is the purpose of you doing that?" She'd be like, "I'm not gonna wash up in dirty water because as soon as
Yeah,
you get in
yeah.
the water, you contaminating the water." Long story short, that was her way of, you feel me, enjoying her bath, soaking, and also, you feel me, cleansing herself properly.
Hmm.
Long story short, we were talking about in reference to cleansing our bodies and just eating good. When I met the goddess at it's a restaurant here in Delaware called Go Vegan Philly. It's a vegan spot.
Hmm.
Long story short, we were mentioning, and I brought that story up because we were talking about food and cleansing our body and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
no coincidence, she said, "You want to know what's funny? My mom do the same thing. The only thing is, she would take her shower first and get in the tub after."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I just
yeah,
laughed, and she was just like, "Yo, that's crazy that." I said it too. I was just like, we both was saying like at the same time, pretty much like that's crazy, and it's no coincidence that like
yeah.
our mothers kind of have that similar process. And I look at it
Hmm.
because she was a goddess, she was
Yeah,
a melanated goddess. I look at it like that's just them tapping into their divine nature.
exactly,
They had their
exactly.
own little routine, but it's kind of the same, pretty much
Ritual.
ultimately the same goal. Yeah, that's the
Hmm.
word. It's that ritual.
Ritual, yeah. It's interesting because I remember we were me and a good brother. We were building early this morning. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I'm talking about you. We and you, we were hitting each other up early, just building on a couple of things, and we were talking about we were talking about language. You know what I'm saying? And the importance of us, tapping back into our own language and and getting on that right frequency. And because we he was asking me questions about different like the history of the language and etc. And we have really good teachers out there. You know what I'm saying? That are dedicating their lives to really assisting and waking folks up. Like because we were talking specifically with Musbatia or sabbatic. You know what I mean? Or people might call it nuopic. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait a minute. I lost you on the on the other side. You see it? Oh, well, I think both his phones died. But anyway, I was just saying if y'all unless he's coming back, I'm not sure if he's coming back. I think he might have his phones might have died. But man, it'd be funny to think. But anyway, if y'all ever are looking to tap into ancient language, you can Google All Eyes on Egypt. All the stores in there they have actually um classes and also language classes. Just Google All Eyes on oh, wait a minute, he's coming back in. I don't know what happened to I don't know what happened to I don't know what happened to his other joint, but I'm not sure if they both died. But I guess he's gonna tell us in a second. All right, you can come back in, but there you go. Your other phone died. Okay, Jose, I can't hear you. Oh, you said your other phone died. Oh, wait a minute, I can't hear him. Can you hear me? Okay. Well, anyway, I was just saying we were just building on language. I was just saying that we got a lot of good teachers out here. Said if you go to All Eyes on Egypt, just Google it in your area. They do teach ancient languages that are from our tongue and other great information in different classes. Yeah, I think his thing. I said, what in the world is going on? This thing is his phone needs some juice. Good gracious. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on. I don't know what's going on. He just keeps on popping in and out. But let's see what if he's in here now. But anyway, long story short, yeah, if you're in the area, you know what I'm saying, and you're trying to get this information, yeah, just Google All Eyes on Egypt, and these places they go into detail. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, it looked crazy. But no, I was telling the folks, you know what I'm saying, how we're building on the language and how important it is that even and this is a whole kind of a whole different topic, but importance of us getting right with our frequency. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole different subject. I'm gonna get some specialists and we're gonna talk about that. But on my end, that is it, brother. You got anything else to say? Oh, go ahead. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Stay clean. Mhm. 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 Stay clean. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, indeed, brother. You know what I'm saying? We here, we connect, we gonna, I'm right up the street, man. So you know what I'm saying? Literally, like right up the street. So I'll be coming up and down you know what I'm saying, the East Coast quite often. So we're gonna link up, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna link up. So that's it for us. You know what I'm saying? Like the good brother said, please, if you haven't already, please follow, like, and share this good post. You know what I'm saying? Next week, next 2 weeks, next week I got two good sisters coming on here, gonna be talking about a lot of good spiritual information that it's gonna be able to help lift it. I like to keep things balanced, you know what I'm saying, and diverse as much as I possibly can, you know, but always good information for y'all, the people, so y'all can have resources, sources of great individuals like this good brother that can help you assist you in your journey, no matter if it's spiritual, no if it's your nutrition. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here to do at the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. Besides that, we out of here. You know what I'm saying? Follow, like, and share. You know what I'm saying? And thank you again, brother. And y'all, peace and love to all y'all. And if you haven't already, go to polka.rabbitpodcast.com. Pick out the book. Yeah, check out the book because y'all people DM me. They ask me all the time about how come things are so diverse in my life. Read the book. It explains it all. It make all sense. So y'all have a great night. Peace and love to y'all. And we out of here. Peace.